Hi, Julia.
Hi, Karen. Hello.
Hello.
Ah, nice to see you. It's been a little while since we got together.
It certainly has, and I've missed our little get togethers every week.
Excellent. So I was having a little think, and I was pondering about the dilemma about quality of movement. Um, I found with many of my clients that when they come to me for scar work or massage and things, and I say, have you been doing the exercises that you were given? Or have you been doing some tripudio? Um, and with the tripudio, it's usually fine because they know they've got a set rhythm, a set tempo to do each movement. Every move's 3 seconds. But if they're using their physio exercises, there seems to be this thing about getting things done super speedily.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I've got to do this so many times, I've got to do it 4 times a day, so I'm going to do it really quickly to get it over with. But I'm sure you've come across the same
I,
things, or
I do with my breast cancer ladies, that spiders up the wall. That's,
yes,
I mean, we do that with the ball very, very slowly, and we feel
yes,
it go up and down, and we feel a nice stretch along here. But when they come to me and they show me what they're doing, they go like this, and all they're doing
exactly.
is they're just pumping the fluid and getting it stuck. That it's not
Yeah,
moving anywhere.
yeah. And the other one is if they've got to rotate these movements, it's like, okay, I'm going to do that as fast as I can, and we'll do 4 or 5 this way.
Yeah.
Of course, you're aggravating everything and creating heat and yeah, just aggravating the situation rather than it actually being helpful. So I thought we'll just have a little look at moving mindfully with some of our movements.
Why not?
We could,
Yeah.
why not? And
Why not?
because although with Tripudio, we don't, in a class, we don't talk about mindful movement particularly, although it's something um, that is actually very relevant because when we pay attention to the moves we're doing, we're moving mindfully. And when we pay attention to what we're doing, we're far more aware of what is really going on in our body and what feels good and what doesn't feel so good, and what we need to do more of or what we need to do less of, just by paying attention. And it can be whether paying attention to our breathing, which then, as we know, just calms us down, but just with a simple movement. So I thought we could just do a couple of simple movements today and see what it feels like doing them. And for you lovely people out there who are watching, just think about some of the movements that you perhaps you do on a regular basis. If you're doing a little bit of exercise at home, or even if you're doing tripudio, think about the breath of joy and what it feels like when you do those different movements. So, should we start as always with the breath of joy?
Yeah. But it's also very good if you're recovering from illness or from surgery. It's very good to do your exercises very mindfully. I'm just going to sit on the chair. Um,
Exactly.
so I think today is very, very good for me as I'm recovering from being ill. So, yes, there we are.
Perfect. Perfect. Let's just do our breath of joy because we always take about 3 seconds for each movement, which is reasonably slow, and it gives us a chance to think about what we're doing. So as we turn our palms up and we raise our arms and we bring our shoulders up, just notice whether there's any tension anywhere. As we rotate the arms and extend the wrists and glide those shoulders back down, was that an easy movement or was it quite tight or hard to do? How are the arms feeling? Are they feeling light? Are they feeling heavy? How are the fingertips? How are the hands? Are they numb? Are they energized? It's a very simple process and quite useful to do because each time we do that, we're sending messages to our brain, and it's analyzing this information. And the breath of joy, each time we do that, if we do that every day, if we do the stroke flow every day, we're sending very positive messages to our brain. We're creating new neural pathways for, that's why we get that lovely feel good factor from doing our Tripodium flow. But if you're just, you've injured your shoulder, I'm always on about shoulders, aren't I?
Yes, and rotor cuff. Yeah.
Got your exercises to do.
Yeah.
Let's just put one hand on our shoulder and bring the elbow forwards. How's that feeling at this moment? How's your shoulder feeling, Karen, today?
Still a bit tight.
Yeah?
This side's
So,
very tight.
okay, so notice when it starts to feel tight, what point? And then when we open it out, is that making it feel better? Is it feeling tighter or painful? Is there a moment when you think, oh, that feels really good? That feels quite nice when you do that.
Hmm.
And then when it comes down, what does that feel like?
Hmm. That was quite interesting. For me, because it's very tight this week. But bringing it up, it was difficult to lift. You could feel it here,
Okay,
and then,
yes.
as we went out, I could feel that my shoulder hadn't relaxed. But by the time I could get it a bit lower, I could think about lowering my shoulder and relaxing a bit more. So, no,
Great.
yes.
Yes, so just by doing those very simple things, slowing everything down and just noticing each movement. So if we were just swinging our arms around, for me, when I swing my arms out, that feels really releasing. And then when I'm twisting, I think, oh, actually, it feels a little bit tight around my shoulder blade, or it feels lovely when I bring that hand to the front, but the one around the back, she feels a little bit tight. But what point does that change? And it's amazing just by doing the movements that we do every day, or my clients have been given physiotherapy exercises. It about the focus of intent. So doing the same exercises that they were doing, but doing them with some awareness of each part of that, every tiny part of the movement, because that in turn enables you to really benefit from the exercise. Because when you're aware of the area where it's tight, where it releases, you know that you've got to be careful as you move your arm. You're not going to just suddenly swing it through, because you're going to cause inflammation. So let's think about that and just move very carefully through that, being aware where everything is, where it's moving to, and that point of release, and think, yep, that is really quite nice now. One nice little exercise we can do is just to make a loose fist, and imagine that fist is a lotus flower. And we're going to open that flower so the petals are opening out. It's sitting on top of the pond. And we're just going to open that flower really, really slowly. So if you're at home, close your eyes and just rest your hand and open your hand as slowly as you can. And just notice how each finger feels. You might notice sounds from your fingers. You might notice creaking. You might be aware that one finger is doing something slightly different to the others. And you can take a lot of time doing this. And again, a thumb or a finger might take longer or be harder to open. You'll notice that. You'll notice the muscles. You'll notice what's going on with the fingers, right down to the tips of them. Even if they're not particularly sensitive. If you wish to, you can close it back up again.
That was quite
Is that
interesting,
okay?
actually. I couldn't feel my ring finger move. I had no feeling of. I know I kept looking; it was moving. No feeling of it whatsoever, and yet my thumb extremely jerky. There we
Yes.
are.
Yeah, it's a really interesting thing to do. I first did that many years ago, um, uh, lying on a beach with a little yoga group, and we were given this exercise to do to be open, and we were given half an hour
Whoa!
to open our hands as we lay on the beach, half an hour. Um, but here, I don't know, a minute maybe only 30 seconds, I don't know. But it's a really interesting process, isn't it? Because you become aware of those little tiny movements. I mean, we like our small
Oh,
mobilizing
that.
movements. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you take that into a smaller, to a slower, smoother thing, just really think about what happens when we touch our fingertip to our fingertip and then touch the next one. And are all the joints bent?
I'm having to watch them now.
Because it's very different, isn't it?
It's very different. It is much
Yeah.
slower. It's
So
different.
it's something you're not going to want to do all the time, but it's really worth doing those small things slowly, really slowly, occasionally. And if you are doing some general exercise, but particularly if you've got a problem and you're just working with that problem, so whether it's walking up the wall and you haven't got a ball, or if you've got to mobilize your shoulders and your arms, take it a little stage slower and really pay attention to each part of the movement. And it changes everything and how you feel, and the results of that exercise will be 10 times better than by doing it fast and without thinking about it. So that's my little bit for today. Shall we do
Lovely.
it? Shall we do a final breath of joy?
Oh, definitely. Let's have a go. Here we go. Very mindful breath of joy. Here we are. Yeah, mind the chair. Here we go.
Nice deep breath in, shoulders coming up. Turn the palms. Nice long, slow breath out. Let those shoulder blades glide down. Feel the extension in the wrist, tips of the fingers. And just send everything relax. Fingers pointing to the toes. And another nice deep breath. And that was a nice slow one from us today.
Definitely. There we go. Oh, well. I hope everybody liked that. Please like and subscribe. Please add any comments that you'd like to do underneath. It's a way of doing that. I haven't worked out how to do it yet, but there is a way apparently to put comments up there.
Perhaps we'll do a dance next week.
Yeah. Let's get back to a dance. Yeah. We'll have a jig around. Okay then, Julia. I'm going to go now. Okay then.
So mindful movement this week. Okay.
Definitely. Okay then. Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.